We are doing our duty without fear or favor, and we will stand by the victim's family. Our next speaker for today hails from Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, an alumni of IIT Kharagpur with a degree in aerospace engineering. Later joined Infosys for a year and gave his first attempt in taking up the civil service examination, securing the 43rd rank in the 1998 IPS batch. In 2009, he served as the Deputy Inspector General of Police for the Fire and Emergency Department and has also served as a Joint Commissioner for Crime as well. In 2016, he became the Police Commissioner for Bangalore City and is currently serving as the Inspector General of Police for Bangalore under the Central Range. This top cop is an inspiration for many here in our audience. Kindly give a warm welcome to Mr. M. Chandrasekhar, IPS.
I studied in Chennai. I was doing my schooling, and of course plus 1 and plus 2 was also in Chennai. I belong to an agricultural family. My parents, my grandparents, they were all farmers. Of course, my father came out, he ventured out, he became a construction contractor, he became a canal construction contractor, did well in life. But both my father and mother, they were not graduates. They were educated but not graduates. So I always used to have a complex, self-doubt, inferiority complex that whether I can do well in studies. My father specially sent me to Chennai, and of course he also moved to Chennai so that I get educated. I am from a place called Nellore in Andhra Pradesh. Now you have a lot of educational institutions in Nellore also, but at that time in 80s, very, very, very few. So I did my best and I was a good student. But once I came to the 11th standard, there was this IIT JEE had just caught up, and that must be 90. I was in my plus 1. So everyone were preparing for IIT JEE. So I also started preparation, and I told my parents that I am doing this, and then they were very happy that I have set my target very high. They always used to say that you should set your target very high so that you should stretch yourself. But I had a lot of self-doubt. I never thought I am capable of it because all my classmates, I was in a very good school. My father sent me to a very good school in Chennai. They were all sons and daughters of bureaucrats or technical people who are big engineers. So I never used to mention it, but that inner fear was always there, whether I can make this, whether I can get to IIT. But now I have put my foot, I can't go back. I can't, the ego prevents you from taking it back. So I started studying. Of course, physics was my favorite, so I could certainly do well. And but always, whenever you have a self-doubt, whether you are playing cricket or whether you are doing anything, you are doing your policing job or anything, your performance will be affected. Because most of the time you are thinking about what will happen if I don't make it. You are seeing the destination and thinking, if I fall short, who is going to taunt me? What will the parents think about me? What will my friends think about me? What will my neighbor with whom I play cricket, what will he think about me? All these things will be in your mind. You can't do your job. You can't do that type of job with full vigor and enthusiasm and intensity. So that happened to me also at that time. And I went for the exam the first day. Then it used to be four papers. The first paper used to be some objective of all, it was a qualifying paper. The second paper was chemistry. I did miserably because I was not well prepared. And I came back home And we all, I hope the generation has changed, I hope the thinking has also changed. Because if we don't do well in exams, we just come back and start brooding, start feeling bad, ayo, Sariya Madilla, I didn't do it well, what's going to happen. We don't, at least I did not have the courage to share it with my parents. Okay, the courage to share things, courage to share a failure or a setback also is a great quality. It suits you. It makes you better. And you'll get some support from your near and dear ones. I didn't do it, but I don't know, it is divine providence. I just started listening to some songs, and actually I planned not to go for the next day's exams. The next day was physics and mathematics. I didn't want to go. I just wanted to just go there and just roam around, don't enter the examination hall. Because if I don't go, my parents will find out that I am not gone for the exam. Then they will say, what's happening? So I'll just go around and come back. Then I started, I was in a depression. So then I was listening to some songs. There was a very inspirational song in Telugu. Kala kanidi viluvainadi bratuku karniti dharalalone bali cheyaku అగాధమో అవనిధిలోన ఆణిముత్యం ఉన్నట్టులే లోకాన మరుగున దాగి సుఖమున్నదిలే. That means, see, don't waste time crying or brooding about the past. It says that every great thing, you have to do some effort, you have to show some courage. You have to, even if you have to take a pearl from the ocean, you have to dive and get it, and only then in the depth you will get all these things, good things. So then that again motivated me. I think one of my best fight backs in my career was the next day of the exam. I was not very well prepared for maths also, to be frank, but I did my best. Whatever I could, I tried. I didn't leave anything to, I was in a very that fighting spirit. I was really fighting it out, and physics also I did. I came back, but I was not sure of getting it. So after a month or two, the results were announced. I didn't go. I didn't go to see the result. My father went and saw and said that I have got selected. I didn't get a very good rank. I got slightly bad rank. Then I realized, I started analyzing what had gone wrong or what had gone right also. There is one thing. See, once that self-doubt had put me back badly. I didn't prepare well because I was always thinking about the result. See, all our scriptures talk about, like even Bhagavad Gita says, it should be nishkam karma. You should not bother about the result and you should work. It's not possible to bother about the result. We should know what should be our result. But we should work towards it with full intensity. We should never have that self-doubt. The belief which you have at the beginning of any journey, will define your journey. I got in, I analyzed. The second thing is introspection. See, whenever something goes wrong, okay, fine, past is past. We can't go back in past and change, again write chemistry exam and do it well. No, it doesn't happen that way. But at least we should introspect and find out what has gone wrong. It is only a reference. Past is just a reference. Don't feel bad. We all had failures. We all have bad things that have happened in the past. Maybe because of our own negligence. Past is past. It should only be a reference. Okay, because of self-doubt, I didn't prepare well. So next time, whenever I am going to face something, I should not have this. I should go with full confidence. So I did my BTech, worked for a year in Infosys. I always wanted to be a police officer. I always wanted to wear the uniform. Because today I am not wearing the uniform because it's a private function. So I had a lot of passion to be a police officer, And people of Andhra, who, from our area and all, there's a lot of craze for police at that time. Now, world has changed. So a lot of my relatives were into police, sub-inspectors, DSPs and all that. Then I thought I quit Infosys, I wanted to be a police officer. I went for the civil services examination. So all my introspection gave me a lot of good results. I never had self-doubt. I always knew that I will get into civil services. I had that belief. And I really did well. Some problem with the mic? Hello? Yeah, now it's fine. So I always had that belief that I'll do well. And I did really well in my first attempt. And I got into the police service, Indian Police Service. And looking back, it is a very valuable experience. It is a very valuable thing to share with you, because now you are postgraduates, graduates, you will be just walking out of your institute. The biggest fear what you will have is where you will go, where you will get employed, about your future. Don't have any fear regarding your future. Think of something what you should be. You should have some thought. Okay, thought matlab, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or whether you want to get into some software company, you want some experience, and work towards it. You will get it. And it's not, I can't explain to you why it happens or how it happens. Or I'll tell you something, scientifically I'll tell you. All thoughts, if something has happened, if I'm a police officer now, it was a thought in my past. At some point of time I have thought that I should be a police officer. Or else it's not possible. So everything that we see today, if Mr. R.N. Shetty, late R.N. Shetty or Mr. Satish Shetty, they have built such a wonderful institution. They had a thought of building it. Without that thought, nothing. So first thing is the thought. You should think what you should become or what you should be and work towards it. And if it becomes an obsession, you should be obsessed towards becoming whatever you want to become. I don't know whether God or whoever, they will show you the way. It has always shown me the way whenever I thought I should be, and I really thought I should be like this. It has always been like that, and that is how nature works. There is one issue, never be absolutely confident of what you should do, but be confident, but you should be working towards it also. Just being confident and not doing anything also will not lead you anywhere. And when you work, just forget about that fear of failure. You should erase it from your mind. It's not easy. Even now I feel, okay, I have come here, I may cut a sorry figure before all the students. That fear of failure is always, for a moment it comes to your mind. Whether all people will clap for me or they will say what sort of a useless fellow has come and he has spoken here. You will have all those fears. You have to kick those fears out. And speak what you have to speak, what you have to convey. If the fear of, and you have to keep on, it doesn't get internalized that fast. You have to be very conscious of your thoughts, conscious of what you are thinking at that particular moment, and ensure that that fear of failure or whatever is removed. And you should have that belief that you will be. And God will give you that way through which you can approach that particular point where you want to, your destination. It always happens that way. And it would have been easy for me to speak about some experiences as a police officer, but I don't want to, because that will be self-aggrandizement. I think telling some very good story about how some Bhatkal terror module was cracked or whatever, those things are different. All people work for it. I was one among them who worked and we got it done, or else nothing. But I feel that it should be more towards my experiences which can benefit you to some extent in future. And in life, of course, after you pass out of this this stage, you will be facing the real world. So far you are in a very ideal and in an ideal world. If you are in an institute, of course you come here, you study, you have good people all around you, like-minded people. Once you go out, you have different types of people you encounter, different types of situations. Throughout our human history, the dream of every human being is immortality. To be alive for hundreds of years or whatever. Everyone, if you see our Puranas and all, every fellow who goes to do whatever tapas, penance, he asks, when the God comes, then first thing he will ask, I want to be alive. Then God will say, it's not possible, you ask for something else, some other alternative. So it is the inner desire of every person to be alive through ages, but it's not possible. But there is something, a concept of immortality is always there. You can be immortal. You will be immortal by your deeds. You will be immortal in the memories of other people. You will be remembered. For example, the father of the nation, Gandhiji, he is being remembered. That is immortality. You can't see the human body is made in such a way it has to perish. Gandhiji is immortal. Because of his deeds, he is remembered. Rajaram Mohan Roy. He is immortal because he is remembered even now. Even now people think about him. Even people. So, and why every person is not thought about? There is a reason. See, people who stand up when there is a particular type of thinking that is happening. For example, when Rajaram Mohan Roy was there, sati was very common. They were, when once the husband dies, they will burn that lady, that wife. So to say don't do it needed a lot of courage. There were so many people who were trying to attack him also, because you are going against the established norms. And not just going against it for the sake of going it, but for the sake of a better society and a better humane place for everyone to live, he was going against it. So you have to stand up against heavy odds. Why Gandhiji is remembered? Because when he came to India in 1919, it was almost as if that British was ruling half the world. They used to, sun never sets on British soil, they used to say, sun never sets on there. Wherever it may be night or day, at one part of the thing, the sun will be there on British soil. So it was such a huge empire, and they had imbibed that they are superior to all other people. So at that time, this man said, no, we will have independence. And he stood. He went through a lot of problems, but he stood his ground because he believed in it. At some point, he believed that no, this is not correct. This is not a correct society. There should be, every fellow should be treated equally. It cannot go on like this. And it was very easy for him to compromise after that non-cooperation movement, and he could have shaken hands with the British, who had a lot of money and good bangla and all that, some political power or whatever power, and then he could have just left it that, no. He didn't do it, that's why he is remembered. Why I am saying you all this is, once you go out into the real world, there will be so many pressures. There will be so many, see, everything is driven with some sort of a motive. Some motives are good, some motives are bad. But how you stand up to what is wrong makes you. People will remember you for, in the short run they will say, isko dimag nahi hai. Everyone is going this way. Why this fellow is trying to oppose? Or why this fellow is saying no? Can he take on the might of these people? these questions are asked, you'll come across certain situations. Of course, in our profession, we come across every day. Whether you can stand your ground and take on the might of these people, anta, every day we will have such situations. So, if you have to compromise and go along, then fine. You will live your life. Maybe you will live for 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. Beyond that, you have to die, no? Then people will not remember you. You are one among everyone who have come and gone. So if you have to be remembered, you should stand for what is right for the people, for the society. And life will give you such opportunities. Every time. And see, people may remember you or not, but you will have a lot of satisfaction. At least whenever, it's not that I have always stood up, I have also compromised. It's not that. Sometimes I have also taken a back foot. But there are certain places where I had stood out when when everyone said, no point. They bend, when there is a storm, they will break. But sometimes you have to say, let it go that way. Once it breaks again, it will grow again. It doesn't matter. So whenever you have stood by such convictions, even now you will feel good about that. People will appreciate. They may not tell you openly because they are afraid of the big people or the established norms. They are afraid. They won't be able to speak. But inside they will feel, this guy has dam. That admiration they will have. So try to stand up for what is right. Even whenever we discuss, it starts at home itself. So, it's very difficult to differ with my father. I can't. I should not also. That is the norm. So I didn't differ. Even now I don't differ. I try to tell later, this is what is the thing. I try to tell him, but I don't differ. See, I couldn't break out of my norms. But I always feel that my son or my children, they differ with me. Of course, for wrong things also, when I am right also, they will differ. Familiarity breeds contempt, alva. So they are familiar with me, so they can differ. But you should, see, when you feel you are right, you should express it. Sir, I feel that this is the thing. What you say is wrong. This is why I feel you are wrong. But if he convinces you, no, he is right, then you should accept it. You should not have the ego also. Illa naan helbittidini, I have told something, I will not take it back. That also is wrong. So you should just keep this in mind. In future, once you go out of this academy, once you go out of this place, you are in the real world, you will come across certain situations. If you stand your ground, if you say, no, this is the right thing, sir, or let him convince you that this is not the right thing, of course, then you go that way. But if you feel that this is the right thing, stand by it. See, you will feel good about yourself. The only time when in my career, whenever I have stood by what is right, and when everyone had said, no, don't do this, you can't sustain it, the pressure is too much. I feel good. Whenever I think back and look back, I really get a kick. Whenever I am down, I try to recount those experiences. When I stood by it and yes, I did a great job, I feel good about it. And many people also, they silently admire, oh, this guy stood by what is right in spite of great odds. Do that. Try to do that. Keep remembering it. It's not easy to do it because we always take the line of least resistance. I think the electricity also takes the line of least resistance. No, it takes the line of least resistance. So we also tend to do it, but we should make it a habit. We should try to do what is right. People may criticize. People may say this fellow is he cannot live in this world. Real world is very different. You can't live. This fellow will perish. People will say, but they will admire you. And you will feel good about yourself. There is one more quality which I would like to speak, which you should imbibe because it's good for your career. You should be called a man of gratitude. You know what is gratitude? Kritagnate anta heltaru Kannadadalli. So, idu yake, why I am saying this is, if I want to make a friend out of any one of you, the only quality I look is gratitude. If I feel, yes, this guy has gratitude, so I'll try to be his friend, because whatever little help I do to him, whenever I am in problem, he will come and help me, no? So a man of gratitude, once you get that tag, hey, this man is a man of gratitude, you will be remembered again. Remembered, and people will try to associate with you. If you are a fair weather friend, you will only get fair weather friends. You know what is a fair weather friend, no? Anyone doesn't know who is a fair weather friend? I hope everyone knows. You would have seen such fair weather friends in plenty by now. So, and everything is fine, he is your friend. If something goes wrong, if you phone call madidra, even if you phone call, then they will say, hello, 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 kelta illa, I can't hear you, and then they will cut the call. He is a fair weather friend. So, both these tags are very, people get tags very easily. This fair weather friend tag, no, if you get, you are finished. Don't get that tag. Don't ever get that tag. Be a man of gratitude. So only, see, we look, as a police officer also in my force, if I have to pick for a very important operation is going to happen, we need some good people, then I will look for people who are men of gratitude, because they will stand with me. Because the moment I honor them and say you are with me, that itself, they will say that yes, this man has taken us, with him. So I have to give it back when the time comes. So, and gratitude is one of the greatest qualities that, I think the greatest quality that one should have to become big in life. If you look at our Puranas and our Mahabharata also, see, if you see history, no one talks about losers. In a battle, if someone is lost, no one talks about him. He may be a great guy, he may be a good guy, whatever. No, they will just forget. History forgets losers. Because history is written by winners. But if you see Mahabharata, there is one loser who is on the losing side, who is remembered even now, that Karna, because of his gratitude, nothing else. Even now they say, he's a great guy, boss. That is what people will say. Because that fellow is a man of gratitude. So that quality, even if it is in a murderer or a dacoit, it is valued. We feel good, at least I feel good when I come across a criminal also. If he is a man of gratitude, if I get to know, I value it. I'll treat him as per law. Whatever, if I have to prosecute him for murder or whatever, I'll do it. But I'll keep it at the back of my mind, this fellow has gratitude. So, show that gratitude at every, and gratitude should be shown aloud. You keep it inside and you say, I am grateful, it doesn't matter. You should tell it and you should practice it. You will be great people. If you see all great leaders, they are all men of people of gratitude. Good or bad. There may be good leaders, bad leaders, that is another issue. So if you want to become big in life, practice this quality and you will certainly be big, because people will gravitate to you. There is no centrifugal force, something force comes, I forgot what it is. I was good at physics, but now I don't remember. I think once something pulls towards a center, no? Centrifugal force or centripetal law? Some engineer should tell at least. So it is something like that, whatever centripetal force, it is something like that. That gratitude makes people, they will pull people towards you. And you will always be successful. If you have good people around you, you will be successful. So, whenever I visit a college, this is a different type of actual atmosphere. Usually I am asked to go there and then I will stand there and I speak whatever I have to speak. It has been a great experience being here, and I don't know to what extent I have been able to convey my point. You should recount your good moments. That makes you mentally more strong to face difficulties. The second one is, I don't know what I spoke, maybe gratitude. And something else I spoke. Please just keep it in mind. And about standing up and being on the right side. Standing up for what is right. The other side may be very powerful or whatever, you may get transferred or you may get kicked out or whatever it happens. It keeps happening in life. But if you stand your ground, the other fellow will also, the fellow who is kicking you out also, who gets you transferred or you get to move you out or whatever happens, he will also have at the back of the mind, he will have, this guy has character, boss. He will, whenever he goes or he tells, he will say, this fellow is arrogant fellow, but this fellow has some character. That is a comment. He will not give you 100 marks, but he will give you at least 70, 80. He will say, that itself is a, see, if your rival talks to you like that, it's a Nobel Prize for you. Howdalva? See, if my rival says that fellow is an arrogant fellow, but he has some character, he will not give up that easily. That's a great Nobel Prize for you. And it's a great, these qualities, you see, and you don't get these qualities. You see, after this speech, after maybe half an hour, or maybe after 5 minutes after my leaving this hall, you will forget. I also keep forgetting. I also try to take the line of least resistance. But if you, see, I have a list of things which, recently I attended some spiritual program. I thought I know everything. But a year back I attended some spiritual program. He gave a list, he asked me to make a list. And he says you read it every morning so that at least for 2-3 hours you will remember. Afterwards again we will forget. But to internalize things, these good qualities, you have to keep on memorizing, keep on reading it and try to practice it. So once they become a habit, you will be unbeatable. See, what it is not your technical knowledge that the world will test. Some amount of technical knowledge, if you are an engineering guy, you should know what is centripetal force, what is centrifugal, how it works and all that. You should know. I don't say you should totally throw out those books and say, okay, I will only practice gratitude and all that. That also is required. But what is more required is all these qualities. The world will judge you by all these qualities. Not by your degrees or by your marks. CGPA is important. Now you have CGPA or what? CGPA. Okay. So CGPA is no doubt important. It is very important. But more important is developing all these qualities. So it was a wonderful occasion. I thank the principals, teachers, undergraduates, postgraduates. It's a very nice occasion, a great auditorium. And a very different place. I have not stood like this and I have spoken. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When I was just entering the stage also, I was thinking, what type of impression I leave. I hope I have left a good impression. Try to practice these things. You will certainly be better. You will make the world a better place to live. Okay? Thank you so much.